Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows of Japan's neon-lit cities? Beneath the glimmer of skyscrapers and the bustle of urban life, a notorious organization operates in obscurity. They are the Yakuza, Japan's most infamous criminal syndicate, a group shrouded in mystique and feared for their ruthlessness. Their reputation isn't confined to the islands of Japan. It echoes across the globe, stirring intrigue and dread. With a history steeped in tradition, the Yakuza have woven themselves into the very fabric of Japanese society. They're not just criminals, they're businessmen, politicians, and sometimes even Robin Hood-like figures. Their influence extends far beyond the underworld, permeating every level of society. Yet despite their significant role, they remain largely an enigma, their operations concealed behind a veil of secrecy. So, as we navigate the labyrinthine alleys of Japan's underworld, we invite you to join us. Prepare to delve into the secretive world of the Yakuza, Japan's infamous underworld. To understand the Yakuza, we must first travel back in time to their roots. Our journey begins in the Edo period, a time of relative peace in Japan that lasted from the early 17th to the late 19th century. Amidst this peace, an underbelly of society began to take shape. Street vendors, gamblers, and peddlers, collectively known as the kabuki mono or crazy ones, banded together for survival. These kabuki mono were the precursors to the modern Yakuza. They were outcasts, living on the fringes of society. They didn't fit into the rigid social structure of the time, but they found a certain sense of belonging among each other. They formed loose coalitions, offering protection and support in a world that had largely turned its back on them. As time passed, these groups evolved. They became more organized, adopting strict hierarchies and rules. They developed their own unique customs and rituals, many of which still exist today in the Yakuza culture. These included intricate tattooing, the infamous yubitsume, or finger shortening, and a code of conduct based on loyalty and respect. But it wasn't just their organization that changed. Their image in society also underwent a transformation. They began to be seen as a sort of Robin Hood figure. They took from the rich and powerful, and in return, they offered protection to the weak and vulnerable. They were the champions of the underdog, the defenders of the downtrodden. But let's not romanticize them too much. While they may have played the part of the protector, they were also ruthless criminals. They extorted, they stole, they dealt in illicit activities. They were a force to be reckoned with, a force that the authorities struggled to control. Thus began the rise of the Yakuza, a beacon for the downtrodden and a nightmare for the establishment. Their story is one of survival, of adaptation, and of power. From humble beginnings, they grew into a formidable organization, one that continues to hold a significant influence in Japan to this day. At the heart of the Yakuza lies a paradox, an organization rooted in crime yet bound by a strict code of honor. This paradox is embodied in their code of conduct, known as Jingi. Derived from the words for humanity and justice, Jingi is more than just a set of rules, it's a way of life, an ethos that shapes every action and decision. Jingi is built on principles of loyalty, duty, and respect for authority. Members swear an oath of fealty to their boss, pledging their unwavering devotion. They are expected to put the group's interests above their own, even if it means making personal sacrifices. This isn't your typical workplace loyalty. This is a bond sealed in blood, a commitment that transcends the individual and binds them to the collective. The Yakuza's code of honor isn't just about loyalty, though. It's about maintaining the balance of power and keeping the peace. Members are forbidden from engaging in personal disputes or conflicts that could disrupt the harmony of the organization. Any violation of this rule is seen as a betrayal of the group, and is met with severe consequences. One of the most notorious rituals associated with the Yakuza's code of honor is yubitsume, or finger shortening. This ritual of self-mutilation serves as a form of atonement for wrongdoing. It's a physical manifestation of remorse, a symbolic offering to the aggrieved party. The severity of the transgression determines the extent of the finger to be amputated, starting from the little finger's joint. The act is not only excruciatingly painful but also serves as a permanent reminder of the offender's guilt. The Yakuza's code of honor isn't just about punishment, though. It's a system of values that promotes unity, respect, and discipline. It's a moral compass guiding their actions, a framework that brings order to their world. It's a creed that demands absolute obedience, a testament to their unwavering commitment to the group. In the Yakuza, honor isn't just expected, it's demanded. and this demand is met with a level of devotion that's both fascinating and terrifying. It's a clash of values, a dance between the shadows of criminality and the light of honor. It's the paradox that defines the Yakuza. From the shadows of the past, the Yakuza have emerged to cast a long shadow over modern Japan. The Yakuza, once confined to the underworld, have now ingrained themselves in the fabric of contemporary Japan. Their reach extends far beyond the realm of organized crime. They've become a formidable force, not just in the back alleys, but also in the boardrooms of legitimate businesses. Their role in Japan's economy is a complex one. On one hand, they're involved in illicit activities like drug trafficking, gambling, and loan sharking. On the other, they've made significant inroads into legitimate industries such as construction, entertainment, and even finance. This mingling of the legal and illegal creates a blurry line, making it difficult to discern the Yakuza's true extent of influence. Their involvement in politics is another aspect that cannot be overlooked. There are numerous accounts of politicians, knowingly or unknowingly, being associated with the Yakuza. This political corruption further entrenches their influence, allowing them to operate with a certain degree of impunity. Moreover, the Yakuza have managed to permeate everyday society in subtle ways. They've become an integral part of the social landscape, influencing pop culture and even contributing to disaster relief efforts. Their presence is felt in festivals and parades, where they openly display their tattoos and missing digits, symbols of their affiliation. But it's not all power and influence for the Yakuza. They face a host of challenges, from stricter anti-gang laws to a changing societal attitude that is less tolerant of their activities. The number of Yakuza members has been dwindling, a sign that their traditional way of life may be under threat. Despite these challenges, the Yakuza continue to adapt and survive, just as they have for centuries. Their resilience is a testament to their deep-rooted presence in Japanese society. Today, the Yakuza's grip on Japan remains as firm as ever. But Japan isn't standing idly by in the face of the Yakuza's influence. The government, in an attempt to disentangle the syndicate's deep roots within the society, has initiated a series of measures to combat this notorious criminal organization. In the past few decades, legislation targeting the Yakuza has been steadily increasing. The anti-organized crime law of 1991 was a significant turning point, making it possible for the first time to hold Yakuza bosses accountable for the actions of their underlings. This law was a powerful blow against the hierarchical structure of the Yakuza and disrupted their operations. In addition to this, the government has also been cracking down on businesses that cooperate with the Yakuza. Through the implementation of the organized crime exclusion ordinances, businesses are now legally prohibited from engaging in any transactions with Yakuza members. This has resulted in the Yakuza's financial lifelines being progressively choked off, making it increasingly difficult for them to operate. But the fight against the Yakuza is far from easy. Efforts to combat the syndicate are often met with daunting challenges. The Yakuza's influence has seeped into various facets of society, and their ability to adapt to new laws and regulations often leaves law enforcement playing catch-up. Their resilience is further bolstered by their code of honor and loyalty, making infiltration and disbanding from within a Herculean task. Moreover, the Yakuza's contribution to society during times of crisis, such as natural disasters, often blurs the line between criminality and humanitarianism, making the public perception of them complex and multifaceted. This nuanced image of the Yakuza further complicates the government's efforts to eradicate their influence. The battle against the Yakuza rages on, but their influence is far from eradicated. Despite the significant strides made by the government, the Yakuza remains a deeply entrenched part of Japanese society, a symbol of the ongoing struggle between order and chaos. The fight continues, and only time will tell how this battle will unfold. Our journey into the heart of the Yakuza reveals a complex and paradoxical organization. From its roots as a band of outlaws with a Robin Hood-like reputation, the Yakuza has evolved into a sophisticated syndicate, deeply ingrained in Japanese society. Their code of honor, a paradox within itself, reflects the intricate nature of the organization. It's a blend of strict discipline and ruthless criminality, a testament to the group's historical samurai influences. Modern-day Yakuza activities, as we've explored, stretch far beyond petty crime. They've woven themselves into the fabric of society, influencing politics, culture, and even the economy. Yet, the fight against this notorious organization continues. Authorities tirelessly work to curb their power, a task proving to be as complex as the Yakuza themselves. In the end, the Yakuza remain an enigma, a dark and fascinating facet of Japan's society. Their story, as we've discovered, is as much a part of Japan's narrative as any other.